Hello gamers, hello noobs. Welcome to the first game of day number 2. With me is a player who last tournament was drafted at round 7, but this time he was drafted round 2. He's a very effective assassin, and he's a proud winner of the only res win so far this tournament. My teammate and good friend, Zee123.
Hi Pat, great to be on the video and thanks so much for having me.
It's
And
really
yes, it
cool.
was very good to get that res win for not doing much, but very interesting game.
So this is a regular game, and we have players like Zack and Crack, Bianca, Maniac, Bubbles, Killer, and Bumfuzzle. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't expect to see Bumfuzzle in a regular game like this.
Yeah, I know it is a bit surprising, but I think he might feel as though maybe he can be more effective in this type of lobby. I know as a player he likes taking the lead in games, and so maybe he thought in a regular game he might be able to take control as a PR or VT.
Yeah,
But yeah,
he
let's see.
definitely likes to take lead, like you said. He has reads, I feel like, and then he's just like hard following them. So he might
Yeah,
seem
that's
like Merlin,
yeah.
even as VT, because he just solved and feels like Merlin, because Merlin is someone who solved just for free.
Yeah. We've got an interesting reject from Maniac.
Oh yeah, we are already at
One,
1.5. And there was some chat,
you know,
so let's look at this. You didn't pick me to wrong button. Going to hammer. Maniac. This is a fun guy. There's a 1.2, 1.3. Well, we didn't see anything like this tournament. And then 1.4. I think I would unpick Crack, Zack on Crack here.
yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of the time when two people on pick the 1-5 picker, sometimes they off pick both players, but yeah, I'm not sure what Killer will do here.
Who
Like,
do
as in, he could
you, who would you pick here?
see. Yeah, I'd potentially pick Zach. I don't like the 1.2, 1.3. They're slightly lazy picks, in my opinion, as in either VT or Spy, probably.
And this is the first pick that is being talked about. I feel like Killer is a player who's very, very silent most of the time, and he likes to think a lot, as especially as a wrestler.
Yeah, no, agreed. And hopefully he has that same balance as well. If
Oh,
he's spy, if he's known for taking time. That is a very interesting pick. Yeah.
I'm just curious because this is strange. He didn't want to pick neither Zack on Crack, not Bamfuzzle, not Bianca, and all of them could be a viable picks if he just wanted to pick one of them. He instead picks Bubbles, and what should be 2.5 now? If you would be Bubbles thinking about a team with Killer, I don't even know what would I pick. Maybe right hand side even.
Yeah, that is a potential given Maniac on picked him. And if you look at the chat, there's quite a lot of chat early on for like pre M2 finishing as well. Like I think Bubbles asked to be on that mission. Zach kind of was like, how kind Bubbles. So I think there's a bit of soft resin going on in the chat potentially for certain players.
To be frank, I'm a little bit sheeped by Maniac by reading his chat. What about right hand side? Right hand side and Banfazel? I'm not sure if Zach would do 1.1 with his co-spy.
Yeah, that's great. And a question for you, I guess. If you're let's say Merlin in Bubble's position, would you always pick clean here? Like in this situation where 1.5 is on picked you?
Hmm. It really depends who the res are. So for example, if Zack on Crack would be res, I wouldn't pick Killer and Zack. If Maniac is res, then thumbs up.
Yeah.
And I think if it's anti-Maniac and Zack on Crack, then I would have a tough situation. But I actually am getting sheeped by Maniac.
He's typing a lot, I think.
Yeah, he's chatting a lot, and he's from 10p, I think. So
Yeah,
maybe
so
he
he,
actually is not just a new player and
okay, and
isn't being picked. Anti-Maniac and Zack on Crack will be seen. I don't know about 3.1 to be honest here. Because normally I think like Killer just has no teams here.
I mean he really deferred to Bubbles there after all those missions. And I'd be very surprised if 3.1 passes as well. Like I'm sure there'll be at least one or two rejects irrespective of the pick.
I'm trying to think what is even possible 3.1 here. So he's not picking Bubbles, I think, but I'm not even sure if he's not picking Bubbles because he did this 1.5. So maybe he could pick like right hand side Banfazzel and then be a conf spy if it fails. Or he can pick anti Banfazzel and anti Bubbles. And maybe Square
Yeah, I
with
just don't think
Banfazzel or Bianca Merlin.
possibly, but I just don't think that's going to pass if it is clean given the
1.5.
1.5.
Yep. Yep. So Killer's in a very tough situation here because of 1.5, really. And he picks
Yeah.
anti-bubbles. I was thinking about this team for a moment, but it's not consistent with 1.5.
Okay, so if you look at the chat, Bianca saying that Killer on chat said that he doesn't like Bianca, yet Bubbles still put Bianca with Killer.
It's...
But I can't really find the chat where Killer's saying something bad about Bianca.
When did I spy? So Bianca says, interesting that Killer is spying her. How is Killer spying Bianca though? Maybe she was thinking she should be picked. Well, I am really sheeped by Maniac now.
Yeah, I think Maniac is very likely res. I mean, Bubbles is kind of soft resing him on chat. He's rejecting 3.1, so he's unlikely spy with Bubbles, obviously. Otherwise, they would just get double spy hammer. So I'm pretty sure he can be confirmed res soon.
There's a lot of chat this game, but Banfazzel is not talking. I think he's res. Just because of that. We see square. Yeah, I think Banfazzel is res because he's just trying to solve.
Yeah. There's a lot of chat from Zach on crack.
If I would be Killer, I would approve. But Killer is in a very tough situation. I don't know what he even can claim if this fails. Because Maniac said it's... Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you look on the chat on 3.2, when 3.2 is picked, Maniac is saying, "I think I have a team," and then it's not this as soon as Squirtle
Ah,
is
yes,
picked.
yes, you're correct, and it's not this. I missed that one, even though I have him highlighted. I'll try Zigzag. Oh dear, he really sounds like a Percival. I don't think he sounds like a VT here.
He's shading Bomb now as well, saying that he picked a bad pick, but he picked rejected. Interesting.
So Zigzag. He wants to see Zigzag. That is anti-killer and Bianca. I'm not sure if I like that spy team.
And if that's the team, 1.3 is a very lazy pick.
I'm more thinking about 3.2 picking killer and just like he didn't pick Zigzag. Maniac said it's either Zigzag or Killer's team, meaning 3.1, and Baumfuzzle didn't pick Zigzag. So I'm just curious, like, why are people playing like Killer is Res? And you see that again, Zigzag is just hated. No one wants to see Zigzag.
Yeah, might just have two melons
Yeah. Might
if
have two
Maniac's first.
Merlins, might be four
No melon.
VTs,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
just not logical. And this is gonna pass, and is it clean? It could be very well clean. But I'm just curious, why isn't Killer picking Zack on Crack? And then 3.1 is this. And it passes then. Like, if Killer does 1.5 Zack on Crack, slams 3.1, it just has to pass. And we are in Assassination or Crit? It is
Crit.
Crit.
Yeah.
So, oh, well,
This is a very,
what is
very
the info
weird game.
even? What do you even claim as Zack on Crack? So if I would be VT in Baumfuzzle's place, I think, oh wow. Well, the problem
Yeah.
is, Maniac was asking for Zigzag, it was denied to pick Killer over Bubbles pretty much.
Yeah, which is very odd to include Killer on a team that Maniac wanted, especially after 1.5, where 1.5 was not logical at all.
I can see the only team without Killer is anti-Zack and Killer. It's not square, so as Bianca you don't pick Banfuzzle and Maniac. So we have to decide if it's anti-Zack and Crack or Killer. Or maybe it could be left-hand side Maniac. I'm just thinking about pick-upping Maniac and Banfuzzle. Let's see the info from PRs in chat. Maniac is
Yeah, so
confirmed Rust, of course. Oh, Maniac's spying Baumfuzzle. Wait, no, let's think.
where did he say that? Where did he say that? Oh, I don't like you, bum. Wait, no, let's think. Wow, he's really flip-flopping a lot.
He sounds like a VT now. Well, to be frank, I'm liking him less and less, but he got confessed by people, so. Or was it just
And yeah,
Bubbles? No, it was
he's
also
been
Zack
res
and
by
Crack.
Zach quite heavily. So Zach has been calling him res specifically and telling him to mute the whole game.
Didn't like Zigzag. Um,
And now Killer's kind of soft resing Bianca. Yeah, this is a very confusing game. I'm just trying to think who the PRs are here.
Definitely Zack and Crack.
He does this as VT though quite a bit, but he
Oh, well, this game. Hmm. Well, I would first try to find a clean team, which is not square, which is not 3.1, so both Bianca and Bubbles have a lot of res equity now. Not left hand side. Maybe I was wrong on Bumfuzzle. Could it be top?
Yeah, I was just thinking that if it could be top.
This is M2, by the way.
Yeah, what is this?
This is M2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what is this pick?
It does look like a spy out.
And even though it's a pick reject, it's a completely useless pick.
I think it's Biancan Killer, so he's asking for Zigzag again, but Zigzag was asked at 3.2, 3.3, and no one gave a fuck about it. So if Maniac is Merlin, oh man, then I am gonna lay down and cry.
Yeah, could it be Zach to Maniac, like hard pushing against Zigzag after seeing 1.3? Is that a possible line? Like where he's just completely overriding?
I think that would be pretty poor because when you see Merlin like repicking an unpick, you go like, why is he repicking an unpick? Is it a spy? But then usually it's because 1.2 is also res.
Yeah, now Bubbles is kind of saying that Bum has been
Okay,
making sense.
let's
I
do
think,
Maniac and let's lay down and cry. I could also see, well, the problem with Bubbles is that she didn't pick right hand side, she picked Bianca for some reason. I wonder, anti-killer and Zack on crack? Or maybe left hand side in Maniac? Those are the teams
yes,
where Maniac isn't Merlin. And 3.2 and 3.3 actually make sense.
yeah, and now Zach's trying to push left hand side Maniac.
Dear.
Yeah, this is. I mean, I think we have Bum Fuzzle and Maniac as two confirmed res. So I think, assuming that Bum is res, we will very likely get a mission win. It's just if it's Zigzag, it's pretty easy shot on Maniac. Like there's Zach is not Merlin, Bubbles isn't Merlin.
Depends who's Percival, who's Morgana. If Bubbles Morgana, then yes, Maniac goes next.
Yeah,
If okay, I don't like killers, chat. Like, Maniac wants me to spy bomb, so I will go for it. If I am wrong, I am wrong.
and he's pickapping this. Wow.
Says Maniac. Anti-uppers. Let's run M2 plus bomb fossil. 4.1 was clean. Oh, well, Maniac. If he's a VT in some world, some ungodly world, and he solved and people just didn't give a fuck, and he still did it on Merlin. And oh dear, this is a best VT play.
And no one's called Hammer. What are your thoughts on if it is Bumfuzzle, Maniac, and Bubbles on 4.5? Do you think Zach is
Yeah,
the ad or
definitely. Well,
okay?
I think so. If I would be VT Bumfuzzle, then I would always add Zack on crack.
Yeah, I mean Maniac did app Zach.
Bianca isn't even trying.
Yeah, no, Bianca has to be spy art. They're resigned after 4.1.
Yeah, they actually did.
And then Zach, I think, is trying to say that he's unsure of the ad in Killer and Bubbles, but Killer apt Bubbles. So obviously Bubbles is going to be more res
Is
than
it
Killer.
left hand side Maniac? And Bumfuzzle is Percival to Zack? No, it's not Percival to Zack because Zack would be marked.
I don't think we can give Bianca res equity here, not saying anything on 4.5 hammer unless they're
They,
Percival to bump, but I doubt that.
they said one message, like, why spy me Maniac? Which is, like, whatever, chat. Oh! So yeah, Zack and Crack is climbing left hand side Maniac. Oh my dear god. So yep, Maniac is just a VT. And Zack and Crack is Percival to Bamfuzzle, probably Bamfuzzle and Bubbles.
I just can't believe that in this Zach is hard resing Bianca, and he wouldn't do that as spy because he could easily
Yeah.
push for him, bump Fuzzle and Maniac. But Bianca's just completely mute. She's saying, "Don't talk Maniac." So Maniac, they're VTing Maniac, but
Oh,
yeah,
well, Maniac is. I have no clue what role he is. It seems like he really liked Zigzag, and when Zack said that it's not Zigzag, Maniac told him, then you're a spy. It's just. It's all very entertaining, I guess, but will it lead the rest to victory? I think Killer's a spy. It's not Zigzag, so yeah, it would seem like it's anti-Killer Zack on Crack or left-hand side Maniac. But then, if it's anti-Killer and Zack, then just push for Zigzag and you just win.
yeah, I don't think it can be anti Zach and Killer because he could easily like why would he be resing Bianca in that situation?
Yep.
He could easily be resing Zigzag and knowing that he can get the mission win when
Yep.
one res is mute.
I
Yeah.
think it's left-hand-sided Maniac with Zack and Crack to Bumfuzzle 28. Let's change GM and let's. Well,
Right,
we
so
are winning.
anti
If that's the case, we are winning. I'm pretty sure that Bubbles and Killer are gonna shoot Bumfuzzle there. Unless it's Zack and Crack Merlin, but why is Merlin picking 3.3?
so anti 1.5, wow. After 1.2 and 1.3 as well. That's very interesting, potentially.
Yes. So is Bubbles saying anything, or was it like the situation where 4.5 says, let's not. Oh, let me talk with someone and please don't say anything. Bubbles resting Bianca as well. So yeah, Bubbles is gonna try to push anti-Zack and Crack Killer, I think.
Yeah, it's so funny that now Bianca's kind of been brought back
Yep.
into the game, and Maniac's still asking, is Bianca not outed?
Oh.
I think Maniac has to be VT here. He's flip flopped way too many times.
Is it possible if it's left hand side and Bubbles?
Well, not anymore. I mean, Zach is the the only add to this.
So if it would be anti-Zack and Killer, anti-Zack and Killer, who are the PRs? Because on logic, I would approve Zack on crack here for sure.
If
But
it's anti-Zack and Killer, yeah,
if
no, I
if
really no.
if I would be Bumfuzzle Percival to Zack on crack and Bubbles, which is possible, who would I add here? I
I
would
would
add
be adding
Zack.
Zack
Yep, same,
because
same.
yeah,
He
he
kills
revived Bianca.
Zigzag and like just doesn't go with it. And he, like you said, he revived by Bianca.
And yeah, if he was a spy, he had a complete free victory because one res was just com oh wow, and she's adding bubbles, really? She was just completely mute, all of crit.
Perhaps she is actually PR. Who are PRs this game? Because I was thinking Maniac is VT at first. Then
I
he
think it's
sounded incredibly Percival. And now Bianca is. She also could be VT. It could actually be Bamfuzzle to Bubbles and Zack and Crack.
oh wow, and Maniac is apping. I have a feeling that this is not clean at all.
Yeah, or maybe it's Zack to Bamfuzzle and Bubbles.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
it's either this or the other way.
I think it's that line with Zack to Bum and Bubbles, and I think we might have, unfortunately, another game where Percival's off M5 and Spies get Morgana added. But
Oh
yeah,
dear.
I think it's definitely yeah. My guess is Zack to Bum Fuzzle and Bubbles because I think Zack knew that
Bamfuzzle
it
kind of
wasn't.
hard claiming left-hand side in Maniac by saying that he's not apping because he doesn't
Yeah,
want him to instantly pick, which is a real danger right now.
and Bum's also last to vote. So if I think Killer's off apping here, if this is dirty,
Definitely.
yeah. So I think Bianca has apt. I think Maniac claims he's apt, and Bubbles is apt as well. So I think if Killer off apps this, it might just be a spy victory. And Bumfuzzle did stall quite a bit on
So he said this,
4.5.
I'm getting this thing. Oh, okay. See, he sends a message that Bianca likes Maniac's decisions. Since she said, I'm happy for Maniac to make the final pick, but Maniac should always pick left-hand side and himself here, if he's a VT, because people can always reject that. And Bubbles will be picking next, and but if Maniac picks Bubbles, it's permanent.
Yeah, agreed. But let's see if it even gets to 5.3. Does Bum know that everyone else has voted?
Yeah, I'm not sure because Bubbles is of course approving. I think Bianca said that they approved.
Yeah, Maniac said I apt,
Yeah, so it's
and I
three stated votes. And Killer, if it's not clean, I mean Killer is of approving. That's 100%. Well, 99 because one game number two or game number one, I don't remember. We had a spy who didn't approve. I confirmed
yeah,
M5.
yeah, I saw that they didn't offer proof 5.1 or 5.2, but then
Yes,
they
sir.
approved 5.4 or something, which was interesting. So I
And
think
I think
if
it
this
was
is dirty,
always also a Bubbles game. I think it was also Bubbles being added
yeah, that's
into
correct.
M5.
Has more gunner as well.
All
Do
right.
you, if it is anti-killer Bubbles, like, do you think Bubbles is Morgana in this situation? I think so, because Zack was kind of spying.
Yeah, I don't think Killer is Morgana. And if Killer is Morgana, then he didn't really build any team. He rests Bumfuzzle, so that means that Bumfuzzle should probably be shot. Because Killer tried going against Maniac, but then he. Oh, I mean, no. Killer tried going against Bumfuzzle. by saying Maniac wants me to spy Baumfussel, and he picked up proof for it hindsight, but no one really cared about him.
So Bum's asking Bianca, do you have a preference I can work with? But Bianca's already voted. So
I think
I'm
this
not
is just a
sure.
charade. Charade.
I mean, at least he should, yeah, maybe he doesn't trust Maniac picking until they discuss a team, just in case it is double spy hammer.
I think that is the case. Yeah, it's Baumfussel Merlin who's just trying to work with what he has, and he doesn't have much. He pretty much has nothing. The game was solved on 4.5 by Zach, but yeah, he's res. It's left hand side in Mania. And that's why Baumfussel does square pick reject, because he doesn't want to hammer spies. Yeah, you're spy killer. Unfortunately, you are spy. Oh, and he does rage quit.
No, no. I mean, I really hope Bum knows that other people have voted.
So from what I'm seeing, people have 10 minutes to vote, and it's already been 6 minutes here.
I mean, yeah, if let's say there's a world where Bum is Percy to Zack and Bubbles, I think I don't think that's likely.
Well, look, there's a good thing here because I'm pretty sure Bubbles is a spy, and she's probably getting at it now because of what Bianca's saying. And she's our teammate, so we're gonna win again.
Yeah, I think we're getting a win, unless this is clean. But I think it is hopefully dirty. Oh wow, she pick regged. And Killer did not off app.
Yeah, he didn't have a proof. Ooh.
And Bum saying don't pick yet. Promise. So he's yeah, he's I find it interesting that Killer is still not outing Spy. Like, there's no possible way that they're getting added, so I'm not sure what their strategy is. There's a lot of chat this game, isn't there?
Zach or Killer? Oh, who do you think fails 3.5?
3.3 he means.
He probably means 3.3. Hmm.
I mean, Zach is making good points. Like Maniac pushed Zigzag, Maniac, Apt, Zach on 4.2. Zach specifically brought Bianca back in the game and
That's
killed Zigzag.
horrific.
Like there's no world where it's not left hand side Maniac. Otherwise, yeah, I I don't know why Bianca's still rezzing Bubbles.
I have no idea.
And now she's saying, all I'm hearing is Zach spying Bubbles and Bubbles spying Zach.
Well,
Not
Bianca,
really.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think this is all you're hearing.
Wow.
Maniac says that he doesn't like Zach.
If Zach is spy this
Wait,
game,
wait, 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 wait. They are adding bubbles.
really?
If Zach is a
So is it?
spy, then he really blundered.
Yeah, I know, but is it really bumfuzzle to Zach and Bubbles? Wow, because once they add Bubbles, it's either game over or Zach really, really blundered.
I mean, I'm really surprised because Zach should be just winning on missions if he's spy. Repeat 5.2. Okay. Wow. Let's go, Bubbles. THRN. This is the longest crit.
Yeah, it really is. Like even with Bumfuzzle's stall on 5.2 vote.
So, Bamfuzzle is asking for 5.2.
Yeah, Zach's gonna say pick my team and then discuss.
Oh wow, he sounds so res. Or maybe to give me any win rate.
Is Bum just resigning as Merlin or?
Sure, I don't mind, do whatever. Well, he can't say at Zag because he gonna get insta-shot.
Yeah. I guess
Hmm.
if he's relying on Zach to res out and wow, imagine if it is actually anti-Zach Killer and Killer does. But why would Killer be doing 4.4 and then Zach pushing Bianca as res? There's no way that it's anti-Zach and Killer. I mean, look at 4.4 when Killer could have easily just pick out Bum and Zach.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The
Makes more
chance that
sense
that's
for left-hand side and Maniac.
yeah.
If I lose this game, I fail my master arm turn.
I'm just very happy with how he's playing at the moment.
If I lose this game, I fail my master arm turn. This is the best quote. Oh
That can be a
god.
thumbnail for the video.
It's definitely going to the thumbnail.
Jeez. This is one of the weirdest games I've seen.
Yeah, and I think that, well, I don't even know what to say now, right now, because we've said pretty much everything this game. The rest players are just trying to find their way to play clean, and this is such a strange game with Bianca and Maniac conv VTs not knowing what's going on. All right,
Oh
and
no. Sure. Is it game over? They're not saying anything. Oh, really? Zach and Killer? Wow. Zach really, really, I can't believe that.
okay, so but he's not shooting bubbles now. They can't shoot bubbles. It's just Bumfuzzle.
That was one of the worst crit performances I've seen from a spy team ever. I mean, Maniac was resing Zach, so Zach was technically confirmed res at 4.2, as long as Killer kind of pushed Zach's team. Then Killer goes on to app right hand side. Bianca was completely mute and then got brought back into the game by the spies.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bum as Merlin. I think who do you think is Merlin at this
Baumfuzzle.
stage?
It's definitely Baumfuzzle. If shot is in bubbles, then why isn't left hand side Maniac bot? It is just Baumfuzzle Merlin and
How
it
did
is what it
Bianca
is.
know? How did Bianca know that Bubbles was res?
I actually buy that she had some social read because what she said, she seemed very genuine in saying that she asked her for let me find her chat. Oh, I'm not sure, but on chat I had bubbles good earlier on, and then Zach threw me off, so I'm not sure. And so this is why 1.5 was picked, and we were considering this team in M3. I think I mentioned this team at 3.2.
Yeah, you did, and then Bum pick rejected square. Maybe he thought he'd be shot on that team, but I don't think Bum is Merlin here. I think he was genuinely confused that he was getting overridden by both Bianca and Maniac. What are your thoughts on the possibility of Bianca to Bubbles? Do you think that's a possibility at all or not
Bianca to
really?
bubbles. 3.2 approve. Probably wouldn't happen after 3.1. To be frank, I'm surprised that 3.2 doesn't have any approves. Because it has good ones, besides 1.5. But it picks killer, so... Um,
This really should have been a mission win for the spies.
yeah, I'm very surprised. Why isn't Zach just going with zigzag and fuck it? Or just not going with zigzag, but going with 4.2.
Yeah, and saying the ad is in Killer or Bubbles and just taking Bianca out of the game.
I would think saying killers in ad would be a pretty sus thing after 5.4, so just say Bianca or Bubbles could both be ads.
Yeah, they're trying to see if it can be Bianca. I don't think. No, I don't think it can be Bianca. Even though Zach rezzed her, there's no.
To be frank, it could be. If it's not Bamfuzzle, then I do think it's Bianca.
Oh wow, so you really don't think it's Bubbles at all?
Oh,
Do you think
well, I
Bianca's
was
decent?
I wasn't thinking about Bubbles. For some reason, I just assumed that she's not Merlin. But yes, I think Zack would be added over her if she's Merlin.
Yeah, I agree with that. I
And
agree
she
that
could be approving Square only as Merlin, because Merlins do these things, when they approve teams that make no sense. Just like spies. She does 1.2 because 1.1 is bad. Zack repicks a team. Maybe that's how he gets morked. But if he gets morked for bubbles, then the game looks differently. If Bamfuzzle is Percival, or Maniac is no Maniac isn't Percival, but if it's Baumfuzzle Percival, it's to Bianca and Zach.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm just looking at Bianca's chat. She really didn't talk too much at all. I mean, even early on, she was saying, like, she was trying to speak to Killer,
Ah,
saying
she's not
strong.
Merlin. She's just not Merlin.
No,
She's just Baumfuzzle. You know, I just read her chat in the beginning. She's like talking um to Killer. I
when she
picked
was
you
shading.
first,
Oh, yeah.
etc. Baumfuzzle. Unfortunately, my brother. Maniac liked the zigzag a little bit too much.
And there was nothing he could do. He couldn't pick clean on 3.2. He would be a stat shot there. At
Mm.
least this way he got slightly more frames.
Which is funny because it's very pickable. Like you can't pick anti-killer and Zag because you can avoid killer, and if you don't pick killer, then you might as well just pick clean. If you accuse him once, just like 2.5 would. If you're picking bubbles, then you have to accuse him once because of 2.5 and 1-1.
Mm.
That would be my thinking here. Well, we were correct on killer being assassin. That's something. And I think we found Maniac, Baumfuzzle, and Killer pretty early.
Yeah, as in there, like Bumfuzzle and Maniac as the two res, Killer as the spy. And then. But the funny thing is, like, if we just focus on Bianca, how, like, I understand the social read on Bubbles, but, like, it was really Zach who brought her back in the game. And she just did not give him any res equity for that.
You know, I think that Zach has played this game. Maybe he didn't play that badly, I think. If he was thinking that Bubbles and Baumfuzzle have Merlin, then killing Zigzag is actually very good. But it forces him to shoot Baumfuzzle. Like, Zach just has to shoot Baumfuzzle with the way he played. He brought back Bianca into the game. He shouldn't be shooting Bianca then. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
sure that he
right.
was thinking it's in Baumfuzzle and Bubbles. 100% sure. And he killed Zigzag. No one cared about him, kinda. Baumfuzzle was saying people like Bubbles, thumbs up. And yeah, so Baumfuzzle should just die, unfortunately, here. And if it's Bianca, well, then Zach would have won missions. But I don't. Well, it could be the case, but I think it's just Baumfuzzle.
Do you reckon they're getting the shot correct?
Well, they have to shoot Baumfuzzle. If not, then
That is the question. We saw how they played in Crit. Let's see. I mean, maybe that individually they played okay as spies, but I think the coordination between them was off. I think there was a possibility of trying to team build or do something together, which they didn't do.
yeah, killer picking Baumfuzzle and Zack. Then even left hand side killer is possible, or maybe
Yeah,
anti Bianca and Bubbles.
yeah. I mean, they could have easily pushed something, and then they would have had three apps, and then you
Mm-hmm.
can kind of work out who's against that team. So, for example, if they were pushing left hand side killer or something like that, then and Bum was against that, then they could definitely shoot bum
No, they
with
can't be
more.
pushing anti-Bianca and Bubbles. I just said that a second ago. So yeah, they could only be pushing. Well, they don't really can't push teams together because Maniac and Bubbles will confess, and M3 failed.
Yeah, Maniac was only confirmed res because of Zach. Zach was the only person to res
Zach
Maniac.
and Bubbles.
Yeah, okay. I think Zach first. I
Yes,
think Zach
Zach
res,
was first.
and then they became confres because 2.5 failed.
Hmm. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I like Zach's play as Morgana. He is very consistent on it not being zigzag, and he ditches his assassin to push a team anti-bubbles.
Yeah, and he's leaning bubbles to bum. Yeah.
Bubbles to bomb. Let's see, because Bubbles could only do things on chat.
And bubbles to bum, I mean, she at 2.5, she knows that Maniac is confirmed res 3 VTs. She's on no M3s.
I'm reading chat right now, and I'm focusing on Bubbles. Maniac is so funny.
And bubbles does sound like a Percival off a clean mission. Like she's like, I'm tilted. You said you liked me, and we're here ages, etc. Like, yeah, it sounds like she's just a bit angry at the VTs for not adding her, potentially.
It would be so funny. Like, I know it's not possible in any universe, but if it would be Maniac Merlin, oh, this game would be legendary.
He's confirmed VT. Yeah. I think he rezzed the entire table at one
He
point.
spied everyone, he rest everyone, he was pushing dirt and cred. So yeah, of course he's not Merlin, but you know. Oh, and Bubbles rest Maniac after M3. Yeah, is it because 2.5 is free VTs?
And that's why I was saying that, like, that is a possibility, and that's why maybe she picked as well Bianca, because at 2.5 we were, well, she could have easily picked Maniac as well, but we were questioning why that was picked. But I guess 3 VTs makes sense, and then she probably waited at the right time to res the VT off the failing M2.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the more I'm looking at it, the Bubbles to Bump puzzle makes more sense. No, are they shooting? Because this is looking like a very, very slow game.
How long did the game last for? Like nearly an
It's
45
already
minutes.
been 55 minutes.
Yeah, wow. I mean, yeah, that was a very long print game.
Need to play on Bianca and Bubble, but there's nothing really going on. So, oh, maybe we can talk about something else. Who do you think is the best Avalon player as of right now?
Very interesting question.
Or let's make it even better. Best player for each role.
I think Pingu, like the games I've played with Pingu, he's a very good Percival. I think whenever I've been Merlin and I've like unmerlined or tried to kind of survive, he's always been able to revive clean. I think he's particularly good at that role, and I think he's also very good at Morgana. I think he's able to kind of
Mm-hmm.
push teams and shape the VTs quite easily. I think Ref Rain's probably one of the best Merlins I've seen. I mean, even that game today, I think he's able to make good calls. Sorry, yesterday, make good calls and when to kind of pick clean versus when to not. And I think in yesterday's game, it was a good instance of it's better to take the 50-50 shot
Hmm.
rather than get people to kind of unmelon later in the game. So I think, yeah, probably those two are probably the top two in my opinion at the moment.
So who do you think is the best VT and assassin? Because you didn't mention those roles.
I mean, Wacky Apia for the assassin, I think. He's been very good somehow, able to shoot correctly all the time.
Yeah, he definitely been like doing crazy, crazy shots and be correct and override very good players like Hakha. I saw him override Salty and just completely find the full combo. All that this is so unseen, especially from a new player.
Correct. And then I think Dev is very good as well. So maybe him as the best VT. I remember I was in his team last time and he performed very well. So I think
Hmm.
yeah, those players probably.
And which role do you think is your best?
I think assassin for me. I think or more probably assassin. I think sometimes people give me a bit more room for mistakes in certain games, and then I can sometimes capitalize that
Hmm.
as a spy.
Hmm.
Whereas I think with Morgana, if you make mistakes, you can be easily spied out of the game. Whereas with Assassin, you can kind of push to be included in some teams, and then you can quite easily work out who the PRs are and work out a shot.
It definitely Morganas are being scrutinized way more than Assassin, that's for sure. People expect them to be just solid, consistent, have a clean team, clear team, I should say. Yeah, so I fully agree on that. And I also think your best role is assassin. But which role do you think is your worst?
I think Percival. I think that's by far my worst one. I think I out too much information sometimes, um, especially like in at crit. If for example, if I'm pretty confident on a Merlin, I might make that too obvious, and
Hmm.
then it might just end up that we win missions, but then we lose on the shot. But I think I'm trying to work on finding the right balance between giving information, but also not getting too excited and outing too much as well.
Yeah, to be frank, I would agree with that as well. So you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just hoping a few spy rolls this tournament would be good with good hammer positions. But yeah,
No, your bad hammer positions are.
with good hammer positions, obviously a spy,
Yeah,
hopefully
but
for
when you
us.
get bad hammers as spy, then the game is Well, you have to have some mistakes from Raz if you ever want to win.
Yeah, I think as long as I think if you can logically bring it down to two people who did the most, um, then you're more likely at least getting a 50-50. And I think in like a clean setup, it's usually like the 1.6 picker is usually not Merlin. Otherwise, Rez got very lucky. So I guess that can be okay sometimes.
Hmm. Yeah, and
Now, yeah,
I'm
going
not
back to
sure.
this game, they're saying are you prepared to lose if Bianca is Merlin. I mean, you can't shoot Bianca for after what you did, Zach.
Yeah,
You just take.
definitely. He played like Bianca as Merlin, but like by like picking 3.3 again, and then well, he killed Zigzag with. So yeah, he can't shoot Bianca. He played this game like Banfazl should be the only shot, or a mission win should be earned.
That is correct. And Killer saying, I will take you to the grave and burn you if Bianca is Merlin.
Wait. Ah, I don't see Bianca's Percy. It's not Banfazl, so it's not Banfazl to Bianca.
Yeah, then
Yeah,
they mean
I
that
agree.
you can't see. Yeah, they've really taken the full timer for this. I think they just keep coming back to we can't shoot anyone but bomb.
So crit was when did they start shooting? Let's see.
I mean, I will say Bum played the game as well as he could.
23
Like
was
this was a tough game for him as Merlin in that seat,
yeah.
with the chat going on and the amount of inconsistent statements and mixed messaging. I mean, you had like Bianca shading bubbles, you had Maniac rezzing Zach. Um, yeah, it was a very tough game for him, given the team.
So he's saying that Bubbles to Bianca is a possible combo, which I don't really buy. I do think if it's Bianca, then it's Banfazl to Bianca, and that's it.
I mean, he wouldn't be pick rejecting 3.2 in that line. So I think,
Well, I think Banfazl could do something like this. He especially. But I don't think that's the combo, to be fair. I'm just trying to find, other possibilities than the obvious one.
yeah.
So can you please shoot Merlin? Well, I think we shouldn't want them to shoot Merlin.
Yeah, I know. We thought we had the game locked, but sadly it looks like
Unfortunately.
teams of Zach and Killer on. Do you know which teams they're on? Off 5 minutes.
Killer is on team number 5, I think. I can actually check that right now. Oh, he's not. On team number 5, we have Bianca. And Killer is from team number 2, the Avengers. Or Avengers.
Oh yeah.
And Zach is from team number 4. Bear with us.
Yeah, they got it.
Yep, and it was Baumfassel Merlin. Unfortunate game
Very
for us. Good game
yeah.
from the Spies. And this is it. Thanks so much for being here with me and commentating the game. And
No worries. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for having me and yeah, great videos and great work. Thank you.
thanks so much. And thank you guys
Thanks.
for watching. See you next game.